H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's number one urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. Sometimes Chris Walker coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And today is Wednesday, right? Women Rock Wednesday. Is that the day? Where my women at? Where my girls at? Where they at? I see some of y'all. I see you, Dale. I see you, Kim. I see you, Dale. I see you, Kim. And I saw one more. Who else I saw? I see you, Tamika. Let me see who else I saw. Hold on. The man, where you at? I see you, Tamika. What's up, yourself? What's up, baby? It's gonna be a great day today, y'all. We got a guest coming in later on the second half of the show. I got some stuff I want to share with y'all today. A lot of stuff happened last night, man. My heart goes out to the Payton family. Gary Payton Jr. Got blindsided by a foul by Dylan Brooks, which I thought was terrible. No matter what those guys on TNT says. Once a guy get in front of you and then ahead of you, but you're hitting him and swiping him upside the head from behind. You got beat. Just stuff like that, man. Stuff like that. I mean, it's just kind of got to me. Kind of got to me a little bit, man, because I know how hard this kid has worked. I know the family real well. And I know how hard his dad was on him. I know how hard he worked. Took him 6 years to get in, 6 or 7 years to get in this position. And playing the best basketball he could play. They inserted him into the starting lineup. He been G League. He been in, but y'all got to realize they got this man out the G League this year. You know what I'm saying? Everybody cut him. Didn't nobody want him. And he got a chance to play and boost up his stock in the playoffs. And this clown, Dylan Brooks, man, I'm telling y'all, man, it's just sometimes, man, I just don't know what's in the mind of some of these guys, man. And don't like it. Don't like it. You think you just can do stuff to people with no consequence. You can go on a stage and slap a comedian in front of a man in front of 21 million people and go sit your black ass back down like you ain't done nothing. And then you can, like the last night, Dave Chappelle up there doing his routine, and people just came up on the stage and trying to attack him. Better not do it no. I bet he won't do it no more. And the guy had a gun and a knife. What is wrong? Hey, Kim, let me shout out. Let me shout out to. Let me make sure all my girls on. Let me. Dale Griggs, Kim Jackson. This Women Rock Wednesday. Y'all mamas, I'm talking to Mika. I'm talking to mamas. I mean, I'm trying to talk to y'all because y'all are the nurturers of these kids, and we got to figure this thing out, man. Kim Smith, I see you watching in the background. I see you on there. Oh, who else I got? But I mean, I just thought about it, y'all. Come on, can we just wake up to just why? Dylan Brooks, why? Why? Happy Women Rock Wednesday to all the women, but why, Kim? I need you women. If y'all don't understand what I'm telling you, just tell me you don't understand it, then I'll go into it a little bit. I'm just thinking about something, man. This says a lot. The two best, greatest comedians around have been attacked on a stage in the last month. This dude attacked Dave Chappelle on the show last night doing his performance. He had a knife and a gun on him. And I got a video. I ain't going to show the video. This bodyguards whooped him. But I'm trying to see, how did he get that close to the stage? How these women at these protesters are getting so close so they can get on the floor, spend all these money for these seats. I sneak down there to them seats. I don't know how they're getting down there. What is wrong? Then I get a letter. And see, if I read this letter, it's going to take me from where, but it's Women Rock Wednesday, right? I got a letter. Mr. Hatter, my apologies. Let me put my glasses on for this. Mr. Hatter, my apologies. I know you don't like emails, and you're right before the show. Yeah, I just didn't check it yesterday. Been meaning to touch bases on crazy stuff, he said, SHIT, that's going on with adults, coaches, handlers, referees around the travel out of AU hoops. He said, this stuff is getting downright ridiculous. Now we have a dad pulling out a gun that jammed at an event in Massachusetts. You know we have some crazy and deranged folks around our babies, and it's boiling over like a pot of boiling water. I hope the next step is not to see someone actually getting killed, and maybe even an unintended target like a child. I don't know what needs to be done. Neither do I, y'all. But we can start with assuring that we have responsible adults around our kids. Absolutely. Not Coach Pookie, not Coach Ray Ray, who already got gun charges that have no credentials that qualified them to oversee or guide our youth. I say this for one important point of concern for us parents. We just want our kids to go play basketball at practice and be safe. Parents put their kids in sports to be safe and off the street. Now we don't even know if the gym is safe anymore. We can't go to a concert anymore without somebody jumping their ass on stage. We can't go to a award show without somebody coming up and smacking somebody. What the hell is going on, y'all? What's going on? Do some of y'all harbor those same feelings? That's why ain't nobody saying nothing. I wish MF would. Jamaica, Kim, it's okay to comment. That my girl, Mindy. It's okay to comment. It's for all the women today. Hold up. It's for all the women today. What are you doing? Mindy, I wasn't going, but Mindy, you know, and I shout out to the pandemic. I shout out to Mindy Collins, because Mindy challenged me on this show because I don't like to talk about baseball. She took that as I didn't know about baseball. It's a big difference. Because she said, Robert, you know about the game. I'm going to go spend 2 hours watching it. I go and spend 2 hours on TV. I go into the game unless it's a playoff situation. But when she said that, I said, okay. But during the pandemic, this the Negro Baseball Museum, it was flooded, and you had to wait to get back in. A friend of mine went and visit, and I got a trip planned that I'm going to go visit. But I've been studying the history of the players of the game and how it fit into society. And I'm learning some stuff over and over and over. So the other day, Mandy, last week sometime, let me make sure I can find it. I looked up, I'm just, let me tell y'all something. It's got so many fascinating characters. Let me tell you about this letter. Then I'll go into it. This was a letter. It's a document from 1945, right? 2 years before Jackie Robinson broke into the major. Wait a minute. You happen to have that? Oh, man, I'm on my damn show. Don't be texting me. Hold on. Hey, y'all, somebody who know I'm on the show, text me. It gets me. I'm sorry, y'all. But Jackie Robinson broke the Major League color barrier, saying black players couldn't make it in baseball up for sale. It was a document, okay? It's a document. And the document, it is one of the most iconic and rousing chapters of Major League Baseball's long history. Some people call it illustrious history, but I just call it history. Jackie Robinson changed America by started at first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers at Ebbets Field in April the 15th, 1947, right? Shattering a 60-year colored line, providing inspiration to the budding civil rights movement, okay? Robinson, right? Who, he faced all the kind of taunts and everything. But this document I want to talk about. Shout out to Dusty Baker for managing. This document I wanted to talk to y'all about, offered to sale by Long Island Sports. It was a letter in a memorabilia auction house. They auctioned this letter out. But it was a stark. I've read the letter, but I got to read it about 2 more times. I'm gonna give y'all some little tidbits. I didn't fix it. I got to fix it. I'm gonna put it up on the thing. I want y'all to see some of it. But I'm gonna show you how important this letter was. Okay. It was a reminder that the powerful forces within Major League Baseball were bitterly opposed to desegregation, even as the Dodgers executive Brent Rickey was planning his assault on baseball apartheid. Check this out. This document was submitted by Yankee President Larry MacPhail. What's up, D? Okay, to the committee appointed by Mayor LaGuardia. Mayor LaGuardia said, look, I want to get why these black people can't play in baseball. This is the mayor. LaGuardia Airport. If you ever fly into LaGuardia Airport in New York. So this letter was just, he told his commission, y'all got to tell me why y'all not letting black people to the Major League Baseball. And the study and the baseball color line said, listen to me, y'all. In this letter, somebody let him write this letter and post it. The letter simply said black athletes simply didn't have what it takes to play in the big leagues. There are few, if any, Negro players who could qualify for play in the major leagues at this time. A major league player must have something besides natural ability. MacPhail reported. It's Larry MacPhail. He was, I tell you who he is later. Who just 2 years before, mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. In conclusion, he says, I have no hesitancy in saying that the Yankees have no intention. Listen to this in the letter. In conclusion, I have no hesitancy in saying that the Yankees have no intention of signing Negro players under contract or reservation to Negro clubs. He said this in the letter. A whole lot of other stuff he said in the letter. Out loud. Listen to me. I want to talk about this letter. Written by Yankees co-owner Larry McPhail. Look him up. Defending baseball segregation in 1945. Okay. He wrote this letter to Mayor LaGuardia as the mayor tried to push the agenda for integration of baseball. And a lot of people ask me, why the mayor was trying to push it? The mayor not black. Then I thought about back then. I mean, I got to look into that. I like that, Karen Roach. You see what Karen Roach said? I'm going to put that. Karen Roach, I didn't need to give you that, but I'll give it to you anyway. But check this out, y'all. My first introduction to the letter. Hey, check this out. My first introduction to the letter. And when I first looked at it, Mindy Collins, first thing I thought about was LaGuardia. And I thought about the airport. And now I have perspective of the time frame and of this letter. And now I'm reading this. Sometimes I'm thinking about my present times, but then the name of the airport comes up. Then I know it's now. Then I had to shift my mind back into the 1930s when this guy writing this letter, right? I realized it was about the New York Yankees ball club, okay? But it threw me off because the letter referenced him as the president of the American League Baseball Club of New York. It didn't say on this letter, it didn't say the Yankees. It said the American, when I first started reading the letter. Check this out. Check this out. It didn't register me it was the Yankees, but I was reading through it and I just saw some wow. And that's why I want to share y'all with some wow stuff for a number of reasons. The letter, remember the letter surfaced in the auction and the Negro Baseball Museum bought the letter. And the more we popularize these stories that I'm telling you now, the more valuable these artifacts become. So if you have some of these artifacts in your house, share them with us. Share them with the Negro Museum. Some of y'all got descendants or people that's been in it. Share it so it just won't be a part of your private collection. It can be yours, but share it with the Negro Museum. Share it with us. Let us see it on the shop. Send us pictures of them so we can share it with people because this stuff is important to me. But this single letter, y'all, paints a tremendous picture of what the obstacles were, as if related to black athletes in general, and the Negro League specifically, and this opportunity to integrate the game. This is just a simple document. Matter of fact, I just want to put one. I'm gonna just put. I got to put it. I didn't. I took the pictures of them, but I didn't edit them. But I just want to show y'all what I was looking at. Got to put one up on the screen for you. I'm just gonna put one. All of them look alike, but it's just a simple document. It ain't nothing big, but it's very valuable. It's gonna pop up on your screen in a minute. I'm gonna drag it and see, can I just drag it onto the screen? I think I can. Did I? Nope. Get back out of there, Rob. Let me send it again. Send it again. Let me see. Trying to drop and drag, you dig? Hold up. But it's stuff. The reason I want to share. Oh, there it is, right there. I want to share this with you. This the kind of stuff. Let me put my face back up there. Let me find me a camera. I don't want that camera. Y'all see, I got so many gadgets here. I can change cameras. I want to change back to my other camera. Put me on the screen. I guess I'm there. So I'm there. So while I'm talking about this, just to let it's just I mean just I'm just showing y'all so y'all can have some visuals. What's up? What's up, Chris Charles? Uh, like I said, it's just a simple document. Uh, McPhail throughout the letter, though, okay, he says some things that made complete sense. He was right in some aspects, but he was also flawed with his mindset. Okay? He couldn't get over the mindset that somehow made the black athlete less than he thought them to be. Right? In this letter, he said, if we sign a black talent, we're going to put the Negro Leagues out of business. He was absolutely right, Alfio. Alfio, I'm talking about Larry McPhail. Look him up. I'm talking about baseball in its infant stages about integration. That was going to be the byproduct of what would happen, right? One particular line for me that got to me, he said, there are few of any Negro players who could qualify for play in the major leagues at this time. The major league players must have something beside natural ability, like I said. The whole idea about character and morals, which he know didn't exist in baseball. Ty Cobb was the rottenest. Babe Ruth was the rottenest. All of them were some of the rottenest human beings on the earth. But the black guys, you have to have more than just natural ability. You got to have characters and morals. The early major leaguers, ladies and gentlemen, had fighting and drinking and carousing. Take that off the screen, put me back on there. If that's what's considered aptitude and professionalism and all of those words he was saying, and maybe I missed something back then. What's up, Michael Smith? I'm talking about Larry McPhail in this letter he wrote to Mayor LaGuardia, talking about why integration in baseball wasn't a good thing. We know that there are some players that exist that we wouldn't want to bring home to mama. We know. We know it. And the major league has its share of women, like I said, womanizers, gamblers, carousers, all the things that McPhail was trying to uphold as what the major league was special, all that stuff going on in the major leagues. That was one of my wows when I was reading it. It's in this letter. Look at him. I don't want to read it so much, man. Y'all find that letter, Larry McPhail's letter to Mayor LaGuardia. Look it up. It's a lot of stuff. I've never heard of this, y'all, until recently. It's a lot of stuff in this letter that make you say, man, I don't believe this. Think about this, y'all. I want y'all to think about it. Y'all got to see my face on this one. Y'all got to see me. Everybody be saying I be looking crazy and be looking mean. Y'all got to look at me on this one. Think about this. This guy, Larry McPhail, was the president of organization, okay? Let's say Alfio, president of organization. I have to assume he's the president, he's the person on top, and he got people that work alongside him, and he got people up underneath him, right? At least in this day and age, before things are sent out to the press, everybody's looking over to make sure it's put together. So whoever was on his team said this was good and approved this. Mindy Collins, Mindy, you talking about you a baseball person. You got to hear this, Corey. We had to understand that maybe they thought like this too. Maybe somebody disagreed with him, but he just didn't want to go against the president. And then maybe they thought the same way. There are some things absolutely true and correct, y'all. And there are things that you could take positive out of this. They were breaking records. The Negro Leagues were breaking records. They were selling out venues. The amount of money these organizations were making, it was highlighting that the work they had been put in and done. Them guys been working in the Negro League. But in the next sentence, you said that it's flawed and there are issues. You talk about how much money they're making, but it's flawed and there's issues. And nobody caught that before this was approved to go out. This is official letter. That's where it got interesting for me. To me, it was hurting his case because he go back and forth. He made no real significant case for why blacks shouldn't be in. This was all based on his stereotypical depiction of African-American athletes. And then he would almost hurt his cause by saying they were selling out the venues. He seemed to focus on what that meant for the black fan. But for me, the most telling part of the letter is when he talked about how much money the New York Yankees were to make off the Negro League in a year. Corey, $100,000 in 1945. Before y'all even divvy up, I already did. That's 1.5 in today's economic time. That's just one team. How much he made off renting the venues and doing all this shit for the Negro Leagues. They made $100,000. It's the Yankees, the dude who writing the damn letter. They didn't even have to work hard for this money. All they had to do is have the club sign on the dollar line. Ladies and gentlemen, the Yankees were in no hurry for integration because they didn't want to lose that source of revenue. Hold on. Whenever they say, y'all hear these people talking about whenever somebody tell you it's not about the money, it's always about the money. Whenever somebody tells you it's not about the money, it's always about the money. Think about it. He didn't even have to mention that, Corey Henderson. He's saying not only is it going to affect other clubs, but it's specifically going to affect my club. And this is how it's going to affect my club. So, the reason you don't want to do this because of what? Your bottom line. All the revenue that you were receiving from having a Negro League play in your venues. Now, I have a Negro player coming, and that would jeopardize that source of income. See, sometimes y'all always think about black and white. Y'all, sometimes it's about green. Which again is a positive to the Negro Leagues. This dude wrote a crazy letter. Somebody didn't overlook this letter, man. He was schizophrenic on this letter. When y'all read it, y'all gonna say, what the hell? Because you wouldn't rent it to somebody that's going to, that isn't going to fill up the space and buy the concessions and be a good tenant and turns in a profit. This group has been doing this for the New York Yankees Ball Club and many other clubs. And what they call, I didn't know this, y'all. I didn't know that. They call the white Major League Baseball organized baseball. Everything else, they call it organized baseball. All that black, that you know what they used to call it. All that Negro ball over there, they ain't no organized baseball. I thought that was what we played when we was T-ball. When T-ball, that's organized. It's an organization of organized. But these people, he wrote it in the letter, y'all. Organized was what they called the white at the time. I didn't know that. And then one thing that old Buck O'Neil took pride in, this whole aptitude thing, y'all, was a farce. Talking about the black guys ain't smart enough to play baseball. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, on this show. Yeah, that's why you need to share this show. Over 40% of the athletes who played in the Negro Leagues, I'm looking in this count, the Negro Leagues had some level of college education in comparison to the approximately 5% of those who played in the major leagues at the time. I'm going to give you a reason why. And as Buck O'Neil would go on and say, it's for the simple reason that the major leagues then didn't want you to go to college. They want you to go straight out of high school. For the very things he'd outlined. They want 7-year process to go through the minors. They wanted you to get out of high school, put you in a farm system, and they would have to work you through the majors. But they said, we don't have the aptitude to play baseball. In his letter, let me put the letter back up there to people who ain't. Let me put this so y'all can. Let me put the letter back up there. Let me put me back on the screen. This the letter. So there are times. So check this out. A lot of the hey Gina, a lot of the Negro League baseball teams, they oftentimes train at colleges and HBCUs. I didn't know this, Gina. They would play the black college baseball teams. And they would recruit a great deal from the workforce in the HBCUs. This is why they had a disproportionate number of college athletes playing in the Negro League. Can't make this up in comparison to the major league. But in this man's letter, he said, we don't have the mental aptitude to play Major League Baseball. Yet, there's still this prevailing mindset that we weren't smart enough to play. I remind people, I'm going to remind y'all listen to this one, that dialect and intellect is not the same. I hear some people talking about Ben Crump and talking about the way he talked. Brilliant man. You never get that twisted, that southern drawl. I'm going to remind you, because you probably haven't heard this, dialect and intellect are not the same, Gina Lofton. And I think some people mistake that. Y'all got to realize where some of these guys grew up, they didn't speak the King's English that good. The way that people wanted them to speak it, but they didn't have anything to do with their intellect. It had everything to do with where they came from and the language that was presented to them. There seems to be this conflict between dialect and intellect. And these were very bright men. Jackie Robinson, y'all, goes to UCLA. Larry Doby had gone to college. Monty Irvin had gone to college. The list goes on and on and on. Buck O'Neil goes to Edward Waters University in Jacksonville, Florida, before professional baseball lured him away. Trying to overcome the whole stereotypical aspect of the black athlete was the major part of this struggle as well, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I put that letter up there. Larry McPhail letter. Go Google it so y'all can read it when you have time. This is why they would say, well, we will sign a black player when we find the right one. We know that all of this black talent existed. And it was free-flowing in the Negro Leagues. But McPhail was just like the others who were really trying to hold on to something that they knew was beneficial to them. Really trying to hold back the black athlete. Another thing he mentioned when he was talking about aptitude and education was, so we checked all them boxes, but that's still not enough. We have seen this happen in so many other levels in civil rights, especially during that time. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. In this letter, the same letter. I'm gonna put it back up there again. I got to put this letter back up there because I don't want people to just come on and just don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And this letter, though, he also was talking about the war in the military, and he quotes this. He said, the number is 54 professional Negro League baseball players served in the armed forces. So you somehow found this number and looked it up and researched it, and you really think that 45 individuals are capable of serving and defending their country, and that's still not enough for you, Mr. McVale? And in addition to all of the different things that he highlighted, from boxing championships, the Olympic champions, football champions. So you mentioned winners, you mentioned bravery, you mentioned heroes, you mentioned education. What am I missing here, ladies and gentlemen? This was another wow moment for me. Somebody has to hear this letter, man, and say, hold on, man. I understand what you're trying to say, but maybe you shouldn't say it like that way. You can't put this in print. You can still get the point across without saying all that. Think about this, y'all. He was highlighting the Negro Leagues and trying to break them down at the same time in a letter. He was not happy. I'm going to give y'all a name. I just found this name out yesterday. I read up on him. Oh, my God. I'm going to give y'all. He was not happy with the so-called drum beaters. McPhail was. That's any one of those drum beaters who beat the drum, that the black players are better than black. One of these guys' name was Lester Rodney. Look him up. He was a white communist journalist who wrote for a communist newspaper for the Daily Worker. Lester Rodney, right? And Lester is as influential, listen to me, and impactful as anyone to help usher in integration. I don't know why he did it, because integration, y'all got to realize now, integration was good, it was bad. It was good, it was bad. You follow me? It's according to what side of the fence you're on. Lester Rodney wrote consistently and constantly about the great stars of the Negro League. I heard him in an interview, y'all. I'm listening to him. He said he'd go in the dressing room and talk to Joe DiMaggio and said, Joe, I interviewed him. Joe, who the best player you ever played against? He said, the best player I played against was Satchel Paige. He wrote it in the paper. One guy said, Bobby Fella, y'all got to, man, I wish I could get those, get those commentaries of your people. Shout out to Daryl Barnes. He got one more week of chemo treatment. Shout out to him. We've been praying for you, sir. Share the show. Share the show right now, y'all. Y'all think about that, man. I'm going to go down because I got some more. But Lester Rodney, with that pen and that voice, and the white people start picketing. And again, it goes back here. African-American soldiers dying and fighting. The exact same racism in another company, and they actually come here and accept it at home. All of this paved way for Branch Rickey. Y'all remember? Jackie Robinson, what? Went to UCLA. Went to the Army. A lot of stuff. But that brings me to this, y'all. I was thinking about my man, trying to get down to it. When I think about the intrigue and baseball, integration of baseball is very interesting. Filled with mystery, intrigue, backstabbing, little everything. Would have made a perfect soap opera. We could have. Can you imagine a Netflix series with 10 episodes like they do Ozarks? Just from this letter, telling how it was and how it happened. We could have about 4 or 5 seasons of this, y'all. How the black press played their role. Some of them Y'all probably wanted to do a little something too. But I want to get down and finish talking about my man. Uh, I was thinking about something. Jackie Robinson was great, but it would have been amazing if the Kansas City Monarchs could have come in as a whole team. This speaks to the astuteness of Andrew Rube Foster. Google him. Andrew Rube Foster, who started the Negro Leagues in 1920. Rube Foster, when he started the Negro Leagues, believed that he could create a league that was so dynamic that it would force Major League Baseball to expand. Let's say that would have brought in, let's say, that is mooted. Let's just say, for our thing, just brought in, it was 8 teams, brought in 4 of the teams, original team. Then you take the rest of the talent from those other 4 teams and build the strongest teams you can. And they would move to the major leagues. This was Rule 5. It's 100 years ago now. This man was thinking like this. Under Foster's model, we would have complete integration of sports way back in the 1920s. Because not only would you have had black players, ladies and gentlemen, you know where I'm coming. Mindy, you should have known I was going to come on. You had black owners, black managers, black coaches, black traveling secretaries, team physicians, everything that we need to utilize a team and fulfill the business needs of a team. And that was Rube Foster thinking that way back then. Chop shop. If you want a more contemporary example of what Foster was thinking about, look at the NFL and the merger of the AFL. This was Foster was thinking about, man, in the 1920s. It's a brother. Or you look to the merger of the ABA and the NBA. The ABA merger started to get all of these star players. Dr. J come in there with the fro. The red, white, and blue basketball. Put down the three-point line. Introduced the slam dunk contest. Somebody in the NBA said, wait a minute, we got to get some of that over there. I think that it is what Rube thought he could do. And he was almost right. Instead, Major League Baseball focused on the players in the field instead of bringing in those complete teams. It would have been interesting, Chop Shop, to see how the dynamics would have changed and the talent pool, even in the Major Leagues team, that didn't want to sign black players. But if we had those 4 teams there, it would have been an explicit pool of talent there to feed those 4 black teams. Let's say that those teams go over there and join the major leagues of their time. They all black and the other teams all white. Y'all got to walk back, go back. Y'all picture this with me. Which team would integrate first? Which team would it be, the black teams or the white team? Which team? Y'all tell me. The players are not, hold up. Then who's going to be the first to get the players that are not from this country, from Latin America, from the Asian players? Where would they fit in this whole mix? When we talk about ownership, management, field jobs, and all of those different jobs that are so in decline as we speak right now, If this would have happened, y'all, years ago, we'd have had those 4 teams. We'd have had 4 managers. We should have had more black managers. Think about it. Back then, we had more black managers than we do right now. We would have had more black managers than we do now. This is amazing to think about it, y'all. It's amazing to think about. 100 years later, that Rube Foster was thinking about that could possibly happen. Still is not there 100 years later. There's a traveling exhibition going around the country soon by the Negro League. Exhibit will chronicle all the players who broke the color barrier in the major league. They will examine Jackie Robinson joined Brooklyn all the way through 12 years later, where Elijah Ponce Green being the last to complete the integration cycle with the Boston Red Sox in 1959. Well, Jackie's story has already been told, but the rest of these barrier-breaking pioneers' story has not been told. When I think about Jackie joining Brooklyn, April 15th, 1947, I reflect on Buck O'Neil, who became the first black major league coach in history in 1962. 15 years after Jackie Robinson breaks the color barrier. Buck breaks the color barrier for coaching. Got to take a quick break. Chop shop. We'll be back in a minute. Let me see.
Welcome to All Ticket Attractions, your number one source for tickets, local or nationwide. Here's our current promotion: ticket purchase installments. Just pay 25% down and make weekly payments. Ladies and gentlemen, Chop Shop members, go to your favorite show. Sit on the front row. If you want a ticket but can't pay all of it, put it on weekly installments. Now back to the Chop Shop with Hatter and Hicks, your midday sports happy hour.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day here. Y'all had to go do something right quick. But welcome back, everybody. Just wanted to share this with you. Chop Chop done hooked us up with it's not layaway, it's installment plans. I didn't like that word layaway. Dallas Moody said, Robert, during Foster's era, the Chicago American Giants had better attendance than the Cubs and the White Sox. The American Giants played across the street from the old Comiskey Park. It is currently the home of the Chicago White Sox. Thank you. Dallas Moody. I put it on the screen so everybody can see it. What y'all do, what's happening out there in the world. I got some stuff I want to shake. We got a guest coming in. Let me see. Oh, it's women. I had something from Women Rock Wednesday for y'all too. Morgan State names new athletic director to begin their era. Morgan State University President David K. Wilson announced that the appointment of Dina Freeman Patton as the new vice president and director of intercollegiate athletics, overseeing the athletic department and intramural sports and activity. This appointment follows a comprehensive and completely national search led by higher education placement firm. I'm not going to get him no publicity. In conjunction with the internal search committee, which her selection, Freeman Patton become the first woman in Morgan's 155-year history hired to lead its athletic operation. She will assume her new role in June 1 of 2022. Shout out. Shout out. Boy, these women be winning. Women be winning. Dr. Patton, these women be winning out here, y'all. Hey, man, we winning too. We winning too. They just ain't talking about us. But see what else I had for y'all. Might have been one more thing. Did y'all know? We always talk about the NBA draft is coming up soon, and we always talk about it's 30 teams. 30 teams, 2 rounds of the draft, and I wanted to share this with y'all because a lot of people don't know this. 30 teams, 2 rounds of the draft, 60 players. This year is going to be a unique situation. But 58 players going to be drafted this year. Okay? About 15 of those would be foreigners. Okay? So that shortens our pool over here in America now. So when you hear all these guys talking about they going to the league, remember I just said, it ain't going to be but 58 picks. And the reason why, Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat lost their second round pick, violating the NBA tampering rules during the free agency. I think they was trying to get that Bogdanovich guy, the guy that went to Atlanta, shooting the shots with Trae Young. A lot of people was trying to get him. So when y'all see this year, y'all won't be surprised. The Chop Shop people won't be surprised. It's not. But Robert, I thought it was going to be 60 picks. You're going to be to tell your girls at the beauty shop. You're going to be tell your guys at the barber shop. It ain't but 58 picks this year. So guess what? Ain't but 58 guys going to be drafted. Just 2 less guys. So when we're thinking about this NBA stuff, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's hard. It's very, 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 very hard. And I was just thinking about draft misses the other day. I was thinking about it, trying to see, do I want to go there? I was thinking about because the NFL draft was this weekend, and I remember talking about some stuff about the draft. I'm trying to pull it up. Here we go. I like that. But now I ain't gonna go there. But it was some stuff, because we've got a guest coming up soon, and I don't want to get into a long topic. But guess what? I'm gonna share some mailbag stuff with y'all. I've been had in the clip, and I want to hear what y'all. I know y'all be liking to hear what I'll say, but I really want to hear what y'all have to say. Okay? So open comments. So get ready to shoot and fire quickly. All right? It's one story. I saw this guy. He's just a Terrence Rencher. He said, I love seeing and hearing. I told y'all he was good. And y'all should have listened to me when I told you how good he was stories. He said, but we never see. That was my mistake for sending him to that school that wasn't a fit stories. Wow. Do anybody know some of them? Do anybody have one of those stories? Should I repeat it again? Oh, we see it on here. I discovered him first. I know I had him in the gym. We hear a lot of that. I'm going to repeat it. He said, I love seeing and hearing that I told y'all he was good. And y'all should have listened to me when I told you how good he was. Stories. But we never see that was my mistake for sending him to that school that wasn't a fit. We got 53 young men who got a Division I scholarship. I think it was freshman Jimmy was talking about. And they're in, no, it wasn't freshman, but 53 people from Houston. are in the transfer portal. Look, look, check this out. Chuck, I done talked about that. 8 picked in the draft. Maya Hollinshead got gut. That's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I don't like them girls trying to come out early. Baby, get your degree. I don't like the dudes coming out early, but go get that money. But I got another one for you. Guy said, attention D1 coaches. Tell me what you think. Okay, thank you, Chuck. Chuck. I'm listening. Keep talking. I mean, y'all can keep coming. Attention D1 coaches. At some point, your 25-year-olds are going to run out of NCAA. Oh, look, man, he wrong for this. He said, college coaches, D1 coaches. He didn't say college coach, D1 coaches. At some point, your 25-year-olds are going to run out of NCAA eligibility. And the transfer portal will not produce 100% of the results you see. It will be time to actually evaluate high school kids once again. Will your staff be competent evaluating and recruiting them? That's a little harsh. Because just because they ain't recruited a guy in a couple of years, they ain't gonna lose. Can you lose your eye for the game? Oh, what y'all think about that? What y'all think about it? Talk to me. It's all right. I got somebody gonna talk to y'all in a few minutes. I'm just trying to figure it out. Got another one. Y'all don't want to answer that one. AAU parents. It's okay to not play every tournament, every weekend. Don't let the fear of missing out tell you otherwise. You said that came from a high school coach, in your opinion? That's good. I like that. I don't care where it comes from. What you think about it? Age appropriate evaluations won't be a problem. Thank you. Okay. What about this one? AU parents, one more time. It's okay not to play every tournament, every weekend. Don't let the fear of missing out tell you otherwise. What y'all think about that one? Got another one. Are there really players who will not? Y'all help me out with this one, man, and quit being so shy on the show. I'm giving y'all permission to say something today. Say it. Y'all can say whatever you want to. Not anything. Are there really players who will not play at another school, at any other school other than D1? If you have no D1 offers and it's May and you are a 2022 player, what is the reason you're still waiting? I am trying to understand it. Thank you, Jerry Jones. Karen Roach, what you don't realize is for 99.9% of these damn players, every weekend is live. Because their ass ain't D1 anyway, Karen Roach. I mean, we come over here and say this every day, and people say, as long as it ain't live. To 99% of them, Karen Roach, every weekend is live because they ain't going to D1. Don't but the 1% go to D1. I hope y'all hear that. So every weekend live. for these people. But I got another one. Got another one. It's about the game last night. Just 3 years ago, we see, and I remember seeing it, we saw Jonathan Kuminga lead Peace Jam in scoring. Listen to this. What can I turn it? Can y'all turn your volumes up? Just 3 years ago, we seen Jonathan Kuminga. I seen him. I was right there. Lead the Peace Jam in scoring with an array of step backs, side steps, and a lot of ISO buckets. Last night, he is rim running, screening, and short rolling, and sitting in the dunker spot, understanding what your role is at the highest level would be. Y'all gonna miss that one. That is Moody. He was the leading scorer at Peace Jam. We got some guys that had a good weekend at Peace Jam, and they got their chest stuck out. This man led the Peace Jam. What you got to say, y'all? What you got to say? Guess to be on in a second. Preferred walk-on status at the D1 is the only legitimate reason the kids should pass up. Wow. Robert Hatter, plus those respective teams are putting them on social. Yes. And man, ain't nothing wrong with putting nobody on social media, man. I mean, these kids love to be. But I just want them to know. I mean, some of y'all got these kids, y'all got these friends, and everybody, or y'all got these people, everybody talking about this basketball. And I just try to give you information. I'm just information after information. About how. Hold up. Dang, keep jumping on me. Y'all, we got to be better leaders out here. We got to be better leaders out here. Just thinking about this kid. Nike deciding right now. Well, they already decided, but do any of y'all know what it takes to have a signature shoe? Because people in a hurry for asking me why Ja Morant doesn't have a signature shoe. And they was asking me about it. It's a lot of work goes into it. About 18, 19 months. Then we're in a different time now because the global supply chain is crazy. How you getting stuff, to a friend of mine ordered some golf clubs the other day. I mean, not the other day, few months back. He just got them. I mean, I think he ordered them for Christmas. He just got them, because they have to come from somewhere. So you think a preferred walk-on spot at a D1 to sit and watch is better than free? That's why I said I don't agree with all this stuff. I don't have D1 offers Summer. Curtis George, what you say? You mean I didn't have a D1 offer some of my senior year? Curtis George, go look at that and rewrite that one, man. Because I want to see what you're saying, but you didn't. You write that one again, boss. Because you got me sounding crazy over here. Shit. I can't understand none of that. Karen Roach, he asked you a question. So you think a preferred walk-on at a D1 to sit and watch is better than a free education? Let me put both of them up here so y'all can see the contrast and then Karen Roach said one thing. What y'all think? Tell me. What do you think? What do you think, Walter Yates? Walter Yates, explain to me, Walter Yates. Boston beat the brakes out. Hey, everybody, what happened in those games last night? We take a look. Boston even the series. You know what? I like the way the series are even up. I figured it was going to go a little longer than people. Well, I tell people, don't get excited about the first game. I said it over and over. But Walter Yates, you coaching college basketball now. What do you think about that foul? Okay. If kid don't have an offer. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. If kid don't have an offer going into summer of the senior lock in. Okay, I got you now, Curtis. Curtis, I'm glad I didn't put that up on. I didn't want to, put you on the screen like that, Curtis. You saying look to D2. There's a lot of stuff going on out here in this college basketball. The climate, just sitting there talking. I'm telling y'all, man, just sitting there listening to these coaches. I know these guys make a lot of money, but man, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I don't know if I want that job because I don't like to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Dude, it's a lot of stuff going on, man, out here, man, behind the scenes. And that NBA has got these kids going crazy. But Dylan Brooks, where my coach is at? Dylan Brooks. That man hurt this guy's career. This guy was in line, Gary Payton II. He was in line to get a substantial pay raise. He make a good play, coming down the court, broke to the basket, wide open, about to go up and dunk the ball. Dylan Brooks came from behind him and hit him, knocked him down, fractured his elbow. What you think? What you think, y'all, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all got stuff to say about everything else. What you think about that? What do you think? Chop chop? John Morant last night, talk about what he did. I got a guy. Yeah, I guess he ain't been watching the show that long. Oh, Herb Baker. I woke Herb up. Oh, my goodness. Herb. Got this guy. Watch the Chop Shop. He gonna text me one night, the first night, talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Because they were playing the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm from Memphis, yes. I like the team. But Golden State and Stephen Curry, I'm going to always have a finish for them. So he called me every night when Golden State does good. I said, dude, don't you know I like both teams? Duh. He ain't figured it out yet. He told me, oh, I was just doing some giggles and what did he say? Giggles and whatever. I said, dude, okay, all right. Too early in the game for a foul like that. Nothing is on the line at that point. So a foul like that is warranted at the end of the game. Karen Roach. I think it was definitely fragrant, but I don't think he tried to hurt him. I think it's how couldn't brace himself. Yeah, thank you, Herb. Herb, thank you, Herb. I didn't know what the hell Herb, I don't use those damn terms. That's it, Herb. Shits and giggles. What the hell is that? What's up, Willie? What's up, Willie? Hey, Sullivan. Man, I'm trying every day, Sullivan. But so you saying it's warranted? See, thought when a guy got in front of you, I just Herb, you was a physical player. Herb. Herb. You saw that foul. Instead of talking about calling the man out his name, Herb, at some point in that game, is it warranted? I mean, y'all talk to me. Y'all act like y'all scared. Did y'all see it? I can't put it on the screen no more. Every time you put some NBA stuff on the screen, they act a fool. So I'm not putting no more NBA videos up on the screen. But y'all gotta help me. Maybe y'all type in and it just ain't came through yet. Let me look at somewhere else. Maybe it's coming faster over here. But I'm just trying to, once a guy done got past me like that, I'm not trying, because anything I do behind him, because he can't see me, might hurt him. Thaddeus Moody said it was dirty. But Karen Roach, you said, if someone steal the ball in front of you, you just let them go. Thank you. See, that's a basketball player right there. You definitely wouldn't want to be chopped down from behind. I was taught to do my work early. See, all right. If I didn't do my work early, this dude just lumbered down the court because he messed up on us. Something happened on the other end and hit that boy, man. Mindy, that pride, he wasn't about pride. Man, I wish I could show that video, man. Because I know they ain't no good. I know they ain't no good. I know they ain't going to act right. But it's under 1 minute left in the clock. You try to make the play on the ball. That's not. I hate it happen, man. And maybe I'm just because I'm partial. I remember Gary when he was a baby, man. So it really gets to me when I see those kind of things happen. When I see a kid, get taken down from behind like that, I think it's dirty as well. Even if the NFL, that would be a fine. Yes, almost in any sport. Alex Cicero, here you go. Flagrant like there is never warranted because of the high likelihood of injury, even if they say it is unintentional. The action of swinging that arm. Well, we already know that technical stuff. I'm talking about. We ain't talking about the referee talk, Alex Cicero. We talking about the hooper talk. I'm going to just give the layup. Yeah, it was a dirty play. Dirty play. I hope the NBA just don't give away money. Herbeck, I think from an elbow, he'll be able to recover. And but Gary Payton has worked himself. Y'all, that man toiled in that G League forever. Forever, ever, ever, ever. And for that dude to come do that, man, I mean, Draymond did. I know he's talking about Draymond did it. I mean, Draymond didn't hit the kid from behind. He grabbed him from the front of his shirt. So what's up, Jimmy?
Yeah, it's going down. We got a lot of stuff. Got old guests gonna join us shortly, and But first, don't forget this evening, the Houston Area Basketball Coaches Association will be hosting their annual set of All-Star games. One thing special about tonight's game, I'm predicting probably a packed house.
Why?
Well, for starters,
ain't never been a packed house.
They've had a decent crowd over the last 2 times that they've had it. It's increased.
The guests is here too, Jimmy. But keep going.
And it's going to tonight. The fact that you have 48 players, 12 on 4 different teams. The first game is at 6 p.m. Second game at 7:30. You guys can go over to rcssports.com, and I posted a roster for you guys. And I took the roster to Houston. The HAPCA sent me the original file, and I added the colleges for all of the players who have identified their post-college situations. And a couple of kids like Sam Bradford and Chemo Melinda are going to prep schools, or they've committed themselves to go to prep schools. So, I listed them as such, prep school. But, but there's about 33 of the 48 players have already secured their college or their post-high school destinations. I don't think there's ever been that many that's played in this All-Star games combined, that by the time this game took place, is always near the beginning of May, that had already secured their college or post-high school destinations. 33 out of the 48. That's pretty doggone good. And what I noticed is, I said something yesterday, we're going to lead right into our guest, is that Greater Houston is right now on pace to produce an all-time low. And I say all-time, I mean in the modern day history of Division I signees. It's only like, I think 16 so far. And I'm expecting another 2 to join in and get Division I's. That'll be Jared Valencia and Sean Jones, who recently was released from Texas State.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Texas State is what is called a Tier 1 institution, which means they reserve the right for scholarship purposes to not admit you or not take any kid who is on pace to graduate in the bottom 25% of his senior class, because they feel like if you can't get the work done in high school, then you probably in all likelihood, would not get it done if you get to this school. And if you don't get it done at this school, you messes up the APR. So that's the way Prairie View does it.
No. That's the first I've heard about Sean Jones not being admitted.
Oh, yeah. I wrote it in the VIP news, I think, about 2-3 days ago. But So Sean Jones is playing tonight. That's why I brought up his name.
Okay.
As well as Sam. Jared Valencia is not.
Oh, he's not?
But Sam, no. But your coach has to be a member of this.
That's right.
I'm sorry, an active member of this organization to even have a chance to be consideration. But so now we're talking about unsigned seniors, and we segue right into our guest.
Right.
And that is, he's appeared with us several times before.
Here you come.
His passion is going to seep through the screens at you guys, because he's adamant and he knows a lot of the top unsigned seniors around, not just around Greater Houston, but around the entire state like the back of his hand. And so here, without further ado, to join us, of course, we'll ask you guys, first of all, to share the show. If you would do so right now, as we queue up Russell Van Lanningham, of course, of the Uncommon Basketball Camps. What's going on,
I gotta
Coach?
keep the camera.
Coach,
How do you tell me to do that before the show? My bad.
go.
Let's do it now.
Coach, I don't know what to say about you. Coach, you all right, Coach? You all right?
Hey, look, Mr. Hatter. Well, before you get started,
Coach,
I told you, Mr. Hatter. I told you I'm gonna hang a picture up before this because I just have some white walls behind me. I don't want y'all to think I'm going crazy in this little apartment. So I got my favorite picture up. Check this out, Hatter.
Yes,
Since you
sir.
said ain't no stars, look at that thing. That's old school.
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah.
wrong for all of
Who's
that.
the greatest?
Yeah,
I don't know who's standing above all.
yeah.
Because what I don't know how that worked out.
Who-
Jordan Magic, but Bird standing the tallest.
Yeah,
We're gonna leave it at
Hey,
that.
that's y'all. Hey, we,
I
I
didn't
give you
read.
that
I
one.
didn't write Street.
Hey.
I didn't write Street Smith.
Hey,
Who's the greatest, man?
I
That's
hold up.
1991.
I'll give you
baby.
Larry Bird. I'm gonna let you have
That's
Larry Bird.
1991. Look at them guys.
I'll
I'll
let
put
you
out the
have him.
old
I'll
school
let you
stuff.
have him. He got swag. He had swag. But you gonna have to
Oh,
give me
yeah.
another one now. You got to give me another Larry Bird now. Cause y'all done ran.
Ain't no Larry Birds.
he been
ain't no
gone 100
Jordans,
damn
ain't no
years now.
Magics.
Huh?
There's five guys. There's five guys you can put on your hand to put in those guys.
Yeah. Them a special guy. You remember? I
Yes,
got
sir.
this, and I'm gonna let you use this, Coach. Take this back to your guy. Remember, I told you, Larry Bird and Magic saved the league. Okay, Michael Jordan made it global, and LeBron James made it mobile. So those three things. That's how the transition.
You're a poet. You're a poet too. I like that.
And I know it.
You know it. How you doing, Mr. Hicks?
Oh man, how's it going? How's it going? You we were talking about unsigned seniors, and what is the atmosphere on unsigned I mean, a lot of the 12th graders around the state. Is it because I noticed in Greater Houston we have a very low number of Division I signees, but however, we have a very high percentage of signees of non-Division I signees and committees for around the area. So that's the plus on this thing, because it's going to always be more non-Division ones than there are D1s anyway, no matter where you live, no matter what part of the country you're in. So what are you feeling? What's the feel in the trenches for these unsigned seniors right now?
I mean, I know parents kind of hate to hear the word small college basketball, but if anybody's benefiting, talking to coaches all this week before the show, trying to have some actual real information that can help, man, these guys at the D2 JUCOs, I mean, they're getting some players. Like, in the Division threes. I mean, the kids signed a Division III that I've been working with, Mr. Hicks, that came to your showcase. And, man, 5 years ago, I thought he was low major D1. And he's at Trinity University, man. Not that they're bad, but Trinity's going to be really good. Now, the problem, because there's a lot of guys, like you said, are slipping. And it's about the next probably 4 to 5 weeks last year is when I've got the most calls. That's why I'm kind of running this last event. And I kind of talked to you kind of what I'm trying to do with this layout. I'm trying to be inventive. But, man, the problem is I was reading articles before getting on here. The D2 coaches now are like a JUCO. And they're not very happy. Like the two D2 guys from West Texas saying, like you're saying, now D2s are good. Now they're going which way? They're going up. Man, that's just that's just going to be a lot of conversation, I guess, behind closed doors. But the portal this year, and I think seniors this year, I've told every senior that's come to my camp, you're also fighting the extra year of COVID. There still could be, because schools get out in about 2 weeks, there still could be 1,000 more rosters that really don't know if a kid's staying, graduating, or taking that extra year. This will be the last year for that. So, I mean, there's just a lot of complicated stuff. Even talking to D1 guys, they're almost confused as far as how to explain it to me. You know what I mean? So it's a weird time, but there ain't as many roster spots. right now, but in 3 weeks last year, when I was able to really help some guys find a lead that fit, um, that's when they had like, oh, we thought we had two, but we have two now that want to graduate. We need this and this. So there will be some movement amongst the D2 and below levels where you're seeing a lot more kids signing.
Well, then you mentioned the portal. How does the portal play into that? Because as we mentioned yesterday on the Chop Shop, the transfer portal just with the greater Houston players, the transfer portal is around 53 right now. And those are Division One transfers. That's not counting the non-Division One transfer portal list. So, are there spots actually available? Because those guys in the portal, remember, many of those aren't going to go Division One.
Oh, man. What do you think? Today I wanted to come on this show and like see what Mr. Hicks thinks, because I looked at the numbers in the portal just today. Yesterday, actually, people don't know you get 2 business days. So I talked to the Texas Tech coaches, they're friends of mine, and they're smart. They're 10 times smarter than I am, and just trying to learn again and understand it. Not that I got guys at my camps going to Tech. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that. They don't need me. Again, I always say a D1 guy doesn't need a camp. He doesn't need a showcase. They know who the hell you are. So, but from the portal standpoint, I just looked at all the numbers today. The main consensus for the portal is it's just gonna, which these freshmen or these seniors are getting like nervous, parents are, it's just gonna prolong now that it's shut down. You're gonna have 6 weeks now. You ain't got no way around it. So if you're a senior and you can play, and I found one in my Dallas camp, I'm gonna help now. But man, if you're a senior that can play, then you're going to have to kind of sustain the race, man. You're going to have to stay positive, because over 6 weeks, it could be 5 weeks if you sustain. On the flip side, I'm not going to name a name. Maybe he's watching today. The coach called me. He's not in a good neighborhood. He's not in a good situation in Houston. This is the kind of stuff that breaks my heart. I've done this professionally. He's been working and changed everything he could with what I do at my camps and events, and kind of try to consult him on the back end, man. Give that kid credit. Came to an event, Mr. Hicks, got an offer. And here's the problem these kids need to learn. He says, well, he gave me 7 days. I said, son, somebody's telling you prep. Are you nuts? You're going to be on the street. Tonight, when I was in this, if a D1 kid called me from Arkansas Little Rock that I recruited last year, and tonight he goes in the portal, you don't have that money. They don't owe you nothing. Take the scholarship now. We had a 3-way call. And he said, Coach, well, this guy's telling me I can go prep. And I was like, I don't want to say his name. Man, this kid did everything. A kid from the street. He did everything, Mr. Hicks. Cleaned up his game, his grades. Got the offer and said, I got 7 days because somebody's telling me prep. Well, guess what happened? 2 days later, you'd think I'd be a psychic. Signed a kid from a Division I, low major D1 in Arkansas. It was an Arkansas Juke. Done. Kid doesn't have that no more. So I say, if you get an offer, coach may tell you that, but they don't owe you nothing. If a kid puts his name in the portal you spent last year recruiting that was D1, they're going to sign him. That's what I would have done. People got to understand that. Do not pass up offers right now, and do not wait. Don't think you're – and if – you tell me about prep. What is your thoughts on prep? Like, what is your real thoughts on a kid going prep in these times and all these preps popping up?
Well, prep school it serves a purpose, and it's not for everybody. And some people, most people that attend a prep school would have to pay something to attend that prep school. In most cases, that's the unhidden rule or pet peeve in regards to prep schools. So if a prep school offer or conversation is coming your way, I always encourage the parents to just stop right there, ask the magic question, and just get right to the question. How much is it going to cost? Because the person who's doing the soliciting is not expecting you to ask that question right out that fast. So how much is it going to cost me, and when is it due? That way now
Yeah,
you're making
I really am. I'm trying to learn from you because I mean
you
that's one that's popping up more and more, obviously with the portal. And some kids it's killing. Like I said, if you have a JC offer where you're going to have grades and you're going to be able to get to go to class. And again, I'm not. There's good preps. I'm sure I don't know enough about, but you know, if you're not Division One, I still trying to figure out. You know, is it a year of just working out? Like you said, how much does it cost? Just to advise people because they're popping up as fast as that portal's growing. And so it's, you know, you can spend an extra year, but the kids that did it last year for me, and that's the only reason I'm saying, because I had low major guys go. I mean, I had some guys go low major, and I had D2 guys late, and a lot of NAI JUCO guys through the system and the camps and the formula. But the ones that went prep, like this year, that called me to help them, man, they got filmed like in the fall playing JUCOs, like in a dark gym. They don't really play a spring they're a harder kid to recruit, like most of those kids in that lane. But that's why I'm just trying to get more input on that because that's also coinciding with this portal. They say let's just go to prep for a year.
but
So
I'm but I mean, like I said, it's the prep schools. That's what they will play other prep schools. And I think now, like I said, once again, I mentioned the other day in the conversation about terminology. Even if you mix up the terminology, at least know what it means. And back in the days, there used to be prep schools and you had post grads. And now it seems that people are putting a broad brush and combining those two together with the same meaning. The way that the rule used to work, because of now you could, it's so many different tricks and ways around it. So a lot of people aren't necessarily governing it as they once did. For
right,
example, if you play sneaker ball on the sneaker circuits, such as the EYBL, you're you're not generally permitted to play on one of those teams if you were in the 12th grade. Now, in other sneaker circuits, they had been known. Adidas was first, then Under Armour started. If you were in the 12th grade and basically then it transformed to say, well, all you need was a letter on the letterhead of the school accepting you as a student. And that way now it serves as a pass for you to play. And the post grads, what it used to be was you would have to check out of your high school, not graduate, and then you would be considered for the prep school. That used to be the difference between a prep school and a post grad. Once again, prep school was like a reclassified senior who did not
right.
graduate. That's why think of hence the term post grad. So a post grad used to be the guy who would graduate from his high school and still say, I'm going to spend another year to recover a credit or whatnot before the NCAA changed the rule about 5-6 years ago about how you can only replace one core credit. That used to be the difference. Now it's just so wacky in regards to it. And you have prep
Well,
school.
like I said, the problem the problem for seniors right now, and I've tried to tell them, you're asking me these guys don't know yet. They don't know what they have. So if they're calling you, it's a good thing. If they haven't offered you, when I was sitting in that seat, I probably don't know if I have 2 or 3 scholarships and unless you're their main guy, we've talked about that. I always say, man, please don't pass up an opportunity because of interest right now. You know if they're recruiting you, man. You like I say, if a girlfriend likes you, you know it. If you're my guy when I was at West Texas, you would know it. We're flying you in. We're going to have stuff in your room. We're going to have a cookie with your name on it. We're going to have a host for you that night. We're going to make sure your 48 hours or whatever was allotted was the best 48 hours. Or we're, calling you to come up to an elite camp because you're on a list of unsigned kids. So for me, like I tell them, don't panic if I think they're a player at my event and I think they have a real shot. I'll say, man, in 3 weeks, like I picked up 2 kids to help them, but I use my platforms even before this problem. It's kind of helped me because it's really what I created a long time ago. I used my platforms anyway for like 4 or 5 months after my camp because recruiting for 90% of kids ain't a one-day thing. You better be badass at a showcase for it to be a one-day thing. So that's that guy again. That's probably that D1 guy. So a lot of kids, it's about progress, fit. 3 weeks from now, man, we signed a guy at the portal, coach. Do you have a guy that can guard, that can switch screens? That's what I've been doing. So for me right now, I'm in pretty good shape of helping a kid if they just have about 5 more weeks of patience. And I can't tell them that. I'm talking to them. They don't know what they have yet. Stay in contact, stay proactive, stay positive. But if you get an opportunity and offer, sit down with your mom that night and y'all see if it fits your education. Don't pass up offers at the same time if that comes to your table, because it gets dangerous after that. So it's just a longer process. I mean, I think about it, Mr. Hicks. If I'm at a D2 and I got 1.5, but I don't know till maybe 4 more weeks, I got to look into the portal. I may have a 3.5. You were talking about equivalencies and APR and all those decisions that coaches have to make that parents don't even understand. Those still factor. Now you got a portal problem. But now when I know if I got a 3.5, maybe that kid with the high academics, and I loved him, I might as well say his name. Like here's a prime example of a senior getting hurt. Kid that came to Dallas, Eric Holcomb, man, he's a player. I told his mom, and you got grades, stick with me because you're going to cost somebody less. It ain't a poster on the wall. You're very smart, Mom, because your son is going to make it easy when somebody has a 0.50. Don't take that wrong, because I got a lot of kids help last year that cost the school less that were seniors. So those academics on the flip side, when it comes to packaging and you're not being a 1.0 kid, are important. I mean, Eric can play. He needs the right system. Somebody's talking about a jump shot. Well, I'm not going to send him to a guy who shoots 35 threes. This is what he does. I mean, and he does it well, but he also has done great service during this portal by probably getting about $16,000 in academic money. That makes it a lot different for NAI, JUCO, or a D2 coach. It made a difference 10 years ago for me for that to factor in. But think about it now with the portal. Now you can get a really good. So I don't know. It's just a trickier game. And I always tell parents, like I said, if you want just some consulting and knowledge, profiles are important, highlights are important. But I'm more passionate about kind of helping them, coach them through the process. That could be the difference for some of these kids.
Now, how tall would you claim that Eric Holcomb is?
Hell, I don't know how tall he is, but he had a great week. He had a great camp in Dallas. I mean, he's a kid to me 5 years ago would have something for sure. An NAI, a JUCO, maybe a Parsh. I mean, but he would have more recruitment. That's what I'm saying. The D3s right now, like I just got off the phone with St. Thomas. I ain't going to put him. I'll tell it's the best. That's the best job in America right now because you're getting in your city. You're getting some Angel Johnsons. Shit. I mean, they're slipping down there to you, Bobby. You're going to be D3 national champion, but you better be a coach. I didn't have them dudes at Olu. I had one dude, Rob Martinez. I had that one that everybody missed on because he had a little mustache, but he was a player. They're just slipping down a level, and nothing wrong with that. Man, I think Angel's going to have a great 4-year career if he stays there, but those kind of programs are really benefiting right now. I wouldn't say kids are panicking, but they don't have a lot. So I don't know. I just think Eric, it was a very good camp in Dallas talent-wise, and there's probably 3 guards that I think are full scholarship or at least guys that should be on a college roster, and he was one of them. I mean, he's definitely, with what he does, like you said, it's all about fit. Yeah, I can't fix his jump shot. He does some two or three things really well. Really well. It's just about getting him in the right system. So, but man, it's tough. Not a lot of roster spots.
Yeah, no, it's not indeed, and that's the thing about it. And ironically, these young men, their various positions is what a lot of coaches are requesting at this time. And today, some coach might want a face up forward. Tomorrow, somebody might want they might be in need of a shooter. The next day, it might be another coach. They might need a playmaker. The next one might need a floor general. And what happens is a lot of coaches, they will go and pick the brains of various resources that they have in certain areas. And one of the things that happens that I've noticed that happens is the descriptions of the position of certain players the evaluations may conflict for what one person is advertised or marketing the player as versus what somebody else has evaluated him as, and then it stagnates the recruiting. You've been on the other side of the fence as a college coach. How do you go around that? And normally, because eventually you have to evaluate and use your own eyes. That's the old-fashioned way. But a lot of people more and more college coaches are relying on the eyeballs and the opinions of others.
Now I got it good, man. I'm gonna just start selling. I've been broke for long enough. I'm gonna give a little promotion to UC Exposure right now. We're about 100. Since March 12th, I'm at 39 offers. That's a miracle for guys about finding a fit. But what do I got? I'm gonna any camp in Texas. I mean, I haven't pushed myself enough. I used to say, why are you kind of holding back what you do? You work too hard at it. You can't help more kids. If you're on the show today, let it be. I'm the one camp. So I can't do testimonials. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. College coaches in New Orleans, the number one coach in the country, takes time out of New Orleans to come work my camp. They back what I do, but they also get in there. People think I do that to take a picture. I've been using college coaches just because parents don't understand. That's a professional making those decisions. Forget me that I used to do it. That's old news. Okay. I used to do it. I got a good understanding. I can help you. I get 3 or 4 college coaches that work my camp in Dallas. I had 4 of them, really good ones. They turn in templates of the 9 pages. So if Eric Holcomb, style of play, I wish I could show you. I can get one and show you one, but style of play, level of play, fit, strengths. It's like 7 things I have on there. It's not a rank and it's not a write-up. I may do a write-up, but I really use that, Mr. Hicks, to formulate a plan of where I'm pushing that kid because I've got reassured by professionals. They ain't sitting in the chair. They're out there working them through defense. They're coaching them. They can see who can do this and who can do that. But at least you're getting a look, but you're also getting input. But I get input after the camp by grabbing all those sheets that has 7 things that help me. In other words, they have to make those decisions. Now, man, that's as accurate as you can get. I ain't talking about rankers or raters. Everybody does a good job. But that's what I've tried to formulate, if that makes sense. Those are 4 guys that are doing it right now. A JUCO guy that used to be at a Division I, Division II in Dallas, a national champion last year at a JUCO level, an NAIA coach. Those are my staff. So when they're working with 12 at a basket and, you get down to 9 guys and about 8 names are on 9 of those sheets and I have all that information, man, it helps me over the next 5 weeks. I don't promise you, but at least you get a real look. And I ain't gonna, I may hurt a feeling here and now, but if you're in a 45 player camp and you ain't finishing top 9, I don't have, like I said in the mid, you ain't a college player. I got a fair avenue there. Or you ain't college ready and you're a junior and you need to come back, or you're a junior like CJ Hadnot, who I predicted as a sophomore, he's going to end up D1 because at my camp, he just kicks everybody's ass. There's something to that. Yeah, they do ask about toughness. See that I can't fake toughness. CJ's an easy sell because I know if they go see CJ, he's going to bring it. They know he got to fix his jump shot, but man, that kid's going to move up the charts because of kind of, like I said, how he looks at my camps, college ready. He ain't college finished yet, but he's increasing his own stock. That's what I mean. I don't take credit. The kid has to increase his own stock. Hatter said that last year about, oh, you told a kid he couldn't do a D1. Well, no, I mean, I'm trying to get him the best fit. You got to get a D2 offer before you can get a D1 for 99% of kids. So, but anyway, I mean, I just think the templates helped me, Mr. Hicks, more than anything. And college coaches being willing to take time to drive down and not only work my camp, but sit at a basket and work it like they're coaching them. It's a win-win for them. They might find 2 kids. And I tell them this every time. My staff meeting before, I said, please, guys, and I'm not saying this, I'm telling you the facts, true. I said, man, you know how it works, fellas. Coaches talk to coaches, unless it's a really reliable source like Mr. Hicks or somebody up there in Dallas that's respected, whatever you want to say. I said, if there's 2 kids in here that can't play for you and you're driving home, but they can play in college, call your 2 buddies for me. And you can ask any coaches working my camp. That's from my heart. If there's 2 dudes in here at your basket that you know fit Allen County or maybe a D2 juke or somebody's looking for him, but they don't play for you. Because again, West Texas, there was 50 D2 guys in Houston. There was 2 that fit Rick Cooper. I can't recruit all of them. Style of play, fit matters. So I say that to the coaches as well. I think that's what's going to make Sunday unique at my finale in Houston. Although it's a bad date, mothers, sorry, mamas. It's 12-4, but I used to be in the gym and at select tournaments on Mother's Day, so I figured that was the only day I can get in a good gym. So, but coming down there on Sunday, and it's really the same mindset. Find 8 or 9, and in 5 weeks when they need a real lead, try to get that kid's education paid for and get them in the right hands.
Now, elaborate on and let us know what on Sunday, this Sunday, you're in Houston with your camp. What exactly is taking place, and how many kids are you taking in this camp, and what can they expect to receive?
Well, you just heard it. I'm gonna do my same formula. I mean, there may be some coaches in the gym locally, but I'm gonna really do New Orleans because I only have 1 gym in New Orleans. So what I'm thinking about Sunday, because it'd be a Mother's Day and all that, and it helped Traylon Swayzer. Traylon's a prime example of accepting my invite after your senior showcase. I was there helping you out and all that, but I was also looking for 7 or 8 kids that looked the part to see and invite them to the camp. Thank God Traylon was one of the 3 that accepted the invite. His school was paid for because he came out to New Orleans and outplayed some JUCO guys. So I'm kind of still in my New Orleans layout because of all this portal and this stuff going on. And I'm only going to work with about 32 players. I'm looking for transfers, JC guys, and top unsigned seniors. What did Traylon do best is with a couple of JUCOs in the gym, 2 kids in the camp are Region 14 all-conference guys, Mr. Hicks. Region 14's a beast. Traylon outplayed or stuck right with them. Shit, right there, when them coaches that coached against those guards that were Region 14 all-conference, when Traylon's not only holding his own, but get in that 32-player format, man, I tell the mom it won't be long. I said, you're kidding. In other words, I think that's going to be a good formula for this last event. I'm trying to be inventive, but stay the course on still my post-camp product that leads to results. I'll be probably working 4 or 5 weeks like we talked about before rosters really change. But if I can find 8 or 9 guys out of 32 and mixed transfers and JCs in there or some post-grads, then that would be a very good, tough atmosphere. And we ratcheted up in New Orleans. Why not? It's tougher to beat the portal. Had some great college coaches on staff. We ratcheted that crap up. And so, I mean, the cream rose to the top of the real hunger because you better be hungry right now. And so I didn't see Traylon, but at your place, as far as seeing the physical ability, and then I brought him into that atmosphere, and shit, good for him. He walked the walk. He walked in that door looking around, saw coaches, and just went after it. Had a great day. He's off to Paris.
Now, somebody asked a question, which I don't. This kind of like out of context, and that's Kevin Freeman. Ask Coach how many pros attending his camps, and I don't.
Oh man, yeah, man, I'm not. Tell Mr. Frazier. I mean, I've had pros play for me in college. I had some guys go pro, not NBA, but when I was in college. But I mean, I'm not in the pro business, man. I'm so far opposite Mr. Frazier of the pro business. There's plenty for them guys to tie their shoestrings. I ain't the shoestring tire. I'm looking for hungry kids that are going to stay proactive, trying to discover talent in the weeds. There's a numbers game in Houston, even when the portal wasn't around. I'm working my butt off for that kid that really wants to, chase the dream and keep on improving. I'm going to try to find him a fit. But again, there's Division I guys that are going to go pro. There's too much for those guys already. I'm not trying to compete or get in that lane. I mean, that's just not my lane. But now we'll say this. People are bottling me in, Mr. Hicks. He's for the small guy. He's for the little bitty guy. No, I'm not. The 8 guys that went D1 last year that were top prospects, they were D1 players. I talked to Grant McCassin from North Texas yesterday. If that kid was at my camp, I would be telling Grant, I got to stay credible. I ain't a dummy. I talked to Rick Cooper. I talked to Greg Young. If he's D1, Jordan Roberts, the guard I had in Arkansas, then he's D1. Hell, I want your highest potential offer, but I want you to have an understanding of what that looks like. If you can do a little things here and there and have more knowledge to go from D2 to D1. But if you're a D1 player, yeah, I've got contacts there too. But you know what, Mr. Hicks, if I push a kid that ain't D1 50 times, my product's over, my program's over, what I worked 6 years to create is over, and those 130 offers that are happening is over. But so 8 kids that went D1 last year, they were D1 players. They were D1 players.
How did most of them out of 8 that went Division I, are any of those 8 moved on in the transfer portal this year?
No, but like 6 or 7 that went Division II, and some of it's not the kids' fault. Man, there's a lot of coaching changes right now. I feel bad. The ones I feel the worst for, the 3 kids are having great freshman year. They were in the right fit. The coach got let go, or man, it's a tough time to be a coach right now. That's why I say be smart and be selfish. Fake that you're tough. I mean, anything that's gonna, they got to think about that. They're losing their jobs too. I mean, if you lose half your roster, so a lot of coaching changes at D2 last year. More for me, the D2 guys were affected. I've got about 3 or 4 that are looking for a JC right now that were having really good years as freshmen, and a lot of coaching changes. Just a lot of coaching changes.
So who do you recommend the players commit to? Or are you committing to the coach first, or the school first, or just college period?
I asked that same question to Coach Mack yesterday. Like, give me some advice. I'm going to be talking to Mr. Hicks. He's a good friend of mine. He's done good up there at North Texas. What do you tell a kid now? And I think it's pretty universal. We've talked about it. And I still think this, man, go where you're wanted. I mean, can you see yourself in that town? My son's in the portal right now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my son this. It's a good question, because I was a little worried. Like, when he got up there, the basketball felt good. They made him feel great. Everything was great. He's just a D2 player. He's looking for. But I said, let's say you ain't playing much, Cooper. Or let's say you ain't doing. Could you see yourself living in Searcy, Arkansas? Walk around this campus. Look at the academics. Talk to people. Like, could you live here and fight through the tough times? So some of it, I think, is it's okay if you're getting recruited to interview the coach, to interview the program, to interview the admissions counselor. Don't be like snotty, but interview them. Like, you look more engaged. You look like you've researched their program. Don't just go with the basketball and hoop and be in there. Interview them. So if it gets a little tough or this poor, Could you see yourself staying there? So I think it's looking at the program as a whole, including academics, student life, city, you know what I mean? The town you're in, because it does get tough and you don't want to be on a bus home and stuck in a portal, in my opinion, like I said. So you got to interview the place that you're at, like they're interviewing you for the offer. It's a double way, and that makes for a good marriage. And but if you're wanted and they have the things you need, now's not the time to wait for something better. If you're wanted and they have those things you need, now's not the time. So, I say you need to accept offers and not wait 7-10 days and think something's going to break open.
So do people actually take that advice? Because often it feels that as many people that tell or can try to encourage people to take the offers, if you feel that you found the offer, you longing for this particular offer, it comes. You don't have many other options or little to none at all, especially those who have no other options at all, and you don't take that offer, then let me go back. For every person that can try to influence a person to take that offer, there's going to be at least another one opposing them to
I
do
know.
so.
I think the ones that are opposed, that's why I was asking that question in the beginning, because I don't understand it enough. And it didn't help any kids that did it last year that I advised, none of them. Now, maybe if he's Division I, but the guys that quickly are getting pushed, it ain't another school, because again, if you're getting recruited, it's prep. And I'm not against prep. I got a lot of preps calling me, asking for help and trying to find some kids if they don't place or find a place and trying to learn it more than anything. But that, to me, like I said, is the only thing that's really kept a kid. And I don't know what they're telling them. I don't know what they told that kid that lost that offer in Arkansas. I told him the facts. I said, here's the facts of the matter, son. You're not ever going to go. If you're going to get better and work on your game and you got Division I said, but unless the portal's gone next year, you're in the same boat, like a couple of years, you're in the same situation. You've spent a year away. Now you're a year removed from being a 3-time all-district player. You're a year removed from playing your best basketball, from having film. That some of these films I've got from preps, like I said, it's so hard to tell who they're playing, where they're playing. So I don't know, top to bottom, the good to bad. Everybody knows the IMGs and all that, but I'm talking about like the preps all over. I don't know their structure. So anybody calls me to ask me about, send me some prep kids, I say, give me your whole format. How much you cost, email me everything. Before I advise or tell any parents, I want to know what you do for the kids, what's your ratio of getting them out, so at least I can give good advice. That's all I ask them. But the only thing that's kept kids from accepting offers, in my opinion, up to this point, and what I've been doing after events is, getting in the ear real quick about prep. Now go prep. Go prep. And I'm like, for what? What are you going to do in a year? You got an offer. It's so hard. You got a school paid for. The kid that took the JUCO that last year, that's just like you, he's got 5 D2s and 3 NAIs, Bryce Roberts, that came through my camps that nobody knew about. I said, now he's got 5 offers. He kicked ass at LSU Eunice. Look at his Twitter, son. Go to look at his Twitter tonight. Now he's got 1 year removed. You're older. You're not that high school kid, and you proved you could play in college. I'd take a JUCO offer any day over the week. If I'm without knowing all the knowledge about prep, I would absolutely take a JUCO offer right now, any day of the week. You have school, you have grades, you're planning it. It's pretty. You can identify if you're good enough. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's what I'd say. Do not pass up a JUCO or an NAI right now. Those are the only ones that have the most clarity. They got the most clarity right now. I'm telling you, D2s and low majors have zero clarity until about maybe 3-4 more weeks. They don't even know what they have. And that ain't them being dumb. That's them being smart and sitting probably in a white room with 4,000 names in a portal, and they have to sit through that over the next 4 weeks. And then they'll have clarity. And maybe they got one kid that comes in and says, I told you I was coming back, coach, but I want to graduate. They don't know what they're talking to their mama that COVID year. So if you come to my camp and you can play, if there's 32 guys there Sunday and I cap it for you, I like New Orleans, man. I'm just not trying to pack people in there. I'm trying to do something inventive. And you can flat out play, and we get a good look. We get the information we need. We put you through. I'm going to ratchet it up. And those 5, 6, 7 kids, even odds, but it's going to be fair. In about 4 weeks, I get a call, like you said, and what Eric Holcomb does really well that they're waiting on, Eric Holcomb's going to be there. I'm giving them to everybody. I'm giving them to everybody I know that does what he does. I ain't going to go be a shooting coach right now. He ain't bad at it. I mean, he's you know what I mean, Mr. Hicks. He brings some things to the table, and he's an all-state academic kid. So you're going to cost him less. I'll be selling him quick. I like him.
So now, he's my 6'3" Westbury Christian, and this past season, one of the, as you mentioned, the all-state in TAPS player. He's we currently have him ranked in our top 100 on rcsports.com. His father was a star high school player back in the late 80s and started Baylor as well before getting drafted by the Sacramento Kings.
You can tell that Frazier guy that called earlier that I got a son I'm working that has a pro dad. Boom. You said Mr. Frazier, that's how many pros I got.
Oh, no, that was Freightman, man, not Frazier.
Oh, my bad, Mr.
Yeah,
Frazier. I didn't know where you went.
He just run. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. Now, what would you say, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, the kid, Eric Holcomb's father is Alex Holcomb. Alex Holcomb was a star basketball player in the late 80s, and he's just his father got drafted by the Sacramento Kings in the second round, but he never actually played for the NBA. Now, but still he did get drafted into the NBA, never played in the NBA. But on the flip side, he played professionally, if I'm not mistaken, for almost 20 years. He had almost 2 decades of playing overseas internationally and before coming back to H-Town. So I just want to give a shout out. And foremost reason I kind of know a little bit extra or additional intel on Alex Holcomb is because
remember now, Mr. Hatter and Mr. Hicks, remember with the college coach and what we do our layouts, and you've been in my camps before we play games at the end. I mean, what I really created again, and it wasn't overnight, is are you college ready? College talent's easy. Like when I was at the showcase, there's a lot of talent you can. So the guys I was inviting, I thought had the most talent. Are you college ready? If parents don't need to understand this, parents need to understand this. Parents need to understand this. Every question, every call, every time, you can't trick them. This is not a rabbit out the hat. The first question the coach asks, here's it, drum roll.
Hold on, coach. Hold on.
Yeah, drum roll, Mr. Hatter. Give me that drum roll noise.
They took my drum, but I'm going to give
All
you
right,
something else. I'm going to give you something else.
There you go. Give me that. Is he tough? And toughness is not, I say this, and I'm not being disrespectful. Toughness is not tattoos and kicking trash cans and cussing and shit. Toughness is playing while you're tired with that big old portal. So Eric Holcomb, I ain't seen him enough. I still got to do some more research. I mean, I don't want to keep stick on his name because there's about 5 kids like him in Dallas that are going to end up somewhere with all the coaches in the building last week because they played with the motor. They played through a little duress. They played. There ain't hundreds of kids in there. There's 38 kids in Dallas, and they're all good players, but very few of them can get through the first hour. Their bodies ain't in shape. I ain't waiting up for them. I'm trying to get kids to school. I'm not trying to hurt them. You could go to 25 showcases and hide weaknesses. You know, they put people in the middle of a zone to win a bracket. And as a college coach, we sat there and talked and drank beer and saying, damn, can he guard or can he not? Well, they won the bracket. sat his big ass in the middle of his own. He didn't guard nobody. So we have to guard at my camp, arm's length. You can't switch on screens. That's not a scary thing. That gets your school paid for. Traylon Swayzer, good for you, baby.
I got something for you,
got
Coach.
coaches in there. The first question ain't, is he tall? Can he shoot? They're researching that. That's their profession.
Mm-hmm.
Enough of them are getting fired.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, why am I grown? Why do coaches come work my camp? I've got over 700 followers now at the low, major, and below. I mean, a lot of them are relationships, but I'm not the agent type. I just matchmake and give them. They got to sign the kid based on fit, but we're trying to factor in toughness. But I think people get misconstrued like toughness. Toughness is playing while you're tired. If your ass ain't in shape, suck it up for 4 hours. Fight through it. Because every day in college, that's what you're doing. And there's a portal. Be selfish. I'll bring them together. I say trick them right now. Some of you are looking stupid. Your hands are on your legs. You got your palms up. You can hide that in 300 players hooping, but you just keep getting interest. No, suck it up. Get your palms up. Come on, baby. 3 more hours. 2 more hours. Now, I can't make them do it, but again, I'm always happy of the 7 to 8 to 9. The light comes on. Their back's against the wall. Plenty of talent, and they just win the day. And it's really, they're just answering the question that every coach in America wants to know. And that people get that toughness misconstrued like it's a fighter, like you're a boxer. No, it's being in shape. It's being able to get through a screen. It's if you get your ass corrected a little bit by a college coach at my camp, like some of these kids I had to grab in New Orleans, Mr. Hicks, like, son, that guy was in a national championship this year. He's taking time out of his Final Four. He's coaching you, and you could have done 2 things there. I said, this is a guy who was in a national championship. He's taking time, and he's out here working my camp, and he's coaching you like a guy at the level you want to play at. And he corrected you, and you turned around and did this, put your palms up and not. It just last play, next play. Bend your knees a little harder, extend your chest out, and make progress. What are you doing? But again, coaches talk to coaches. If anybody does the opposite for one day, man, I've been proud that they can increase their recruitment quickly. I ain't going to take all the props for Traylon Swayzer. I invited him. Traylon gave me the chance to help him. He increased his recruitment. I talked to his mom in the stands afterwards. We put together a little game plan. The kids got an offer. It's on his Twitter today. Go sick him, Traylon. Go win the day, baby. Go get it done. But he was a guy that he ain't perfect, but he just kind of responded. I caught him on the side a couple of times. You got to show that you can guard arm's length. You better get up there and get under his chin. I can't coach him anymore, but I'm just telling him some things. I said, that's Jaden Young there. That kid can go. He averaged 25 a game in Region 14. Go guard him. People know you can score. And Traylon did. He made a little progress. Coaches want to know that. If you can make some progress, because, again, there's a growing portal. So I got a really good platform right now. I wasn't really thinking 5 years ago that it was going to be even better, but I'm selling it today. It's even better now because it's not a one-day trick. I got in 5 weeks, these rosters change, and that's when I can maybe help 8 more kids if they'll come out on Sunday. I mean, we can find eight more guys in this formula Sunday, then I'll have 8 more guys. And coaches need good leads too. There'll be eight guys and 8 coaches that benefit. Don't get me wrong. I think the coaches are benefiting too because they're going to scramble late and they need a real lead.
So you only have 8 spots left for Sunday. That's what you're saying?
No. I got this is a crazy thing. I got this is what's killing me, but I ain't going to take my passion. I still got 21 spots and I capped it at 32. I got people going on unsigned senior teams playing with juniors. I ain't bullshitting. I said, please, son, you're in Gym D. You're in Gym D trying to beat the portal. I'm begging you. I got no ego. My buddy Dante Mathis now, who's at Texas State, he goes, man, I couldn't call that kid back. And Dante used to work my camps. We're longtime friends. And I said, man, I got to, man. I said, I just want to get him to the gym so I can help him. After that, I'll do what I got to do. 99% of guys leave happy after the event. They know it's well run. They get a fair shot. So all I got to do is get some of these kids out of there. If anybody's listening And I'm letting JC guys, or if it's post grad, or if it's a prep kid, anybody that is eligible to go play. I'm going to invite some key juniors because I just want them to have an experience and get in there if they're not playing select. But really, of the 32, I like to have about 22 guys that are kind of unknown or under recruited right now in that gym of the 32. And we're going to do the New Orleans platform.
And the New Orleans platform again is one court, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of stuff on one court. We'll do some warm-up stuff on both courts, but we're really going to do what we did with one court. I liked it. It gave them enough rest. I almost tricked them because some of these guys are a little out of shape. I gave them enough rest. And we put them in segments where they were really isolated in front of the coaches, coaching them and working. We really isolated them so some guys could just step up. And, hey, I told them in New Orleans, so don't get me wrong. I'll tell them on Sunday. You should show up to this. Like, look around. After the warm-up, if somebody's tired, take their shit. Just run past them. Rebound every time on them. You got the same dream. He got 2 choices in. I got 32 of y'all. But if you get 8 guys school paid for like that, hey, it ain't your fault, man. You can't blame nobody. If you're already tired and you're a kid in here and you all got the same dream and you're not tired because you're taking care of yourself, take it. Guard them full court. Don't leave any doubt right now. Any doubt. And it's 2 things. Either that kid's going to have to figure out how to suck it up, or he don't really want to go play college, or he's been told a bunch of lies and patted on the back and hugged and say he's the best thing since sliced. Or this kid right here, the lights on, you're looking around, it's just a little different layout. Man, I'm going to just go for it. Man, this is my day. What's wrong with that, man? I mean, I'm trying to avoid them going through a circle, because I will say this, after this camp, that's the reason I put it right around the portal. Dallas and Houston are my best markets. They have the best talent. They got the most numbers, should be able to find some guys that can come out and still be able to play. But I put it around this portal because I learned last year most of the guys that called me that really had some clarity, it was about May 15th to about June 10th. Most of the calls I got last year, so the 2 biggest market camps that I strategically planned to end this thing right around this May 1st portal was DFW on the 30th, Houston on the 8th. May 15th, June 10th was when I got the most calls. So why would I jack around with their kids' future? That's why I'm kind of lowering it to 32, and we're going to figure it out. We're going to have a real day. I mean, it's going to be ratcheted up. It ain't scary. No. It's college. But it's going to also be if a guy why not reward the kid that actually stayed in shape, that's really ready for this moment, that really wants an opportunity, that has the talent, that's getting killed by the portal, getting killed by the COVID year. Why would I hold him back from picking up somebody full court and just dominating the boards and playing his ass off and getting, I can do that all day. I can trick him all day. Give him a little speech afterwards. I ain't doing that. I'm coming to try to find some guys and get some offers. Coaches need some leads in about 3 weeks. I'm telling you. And there's too much talent in Houston for it not to have 32 kids in there. I don't charge a lot. And I got a 5-week platform after camps now that I created last year because of Portal.
And so now how can they get in touch with you or get registered for this camp on Sunday? This is the Uncommon Camp in Houston. And where's the location?
It's always at my favorite spot, man. God bless Miss Angela, man. She's that military lady. She ain't going to be there because it's mama's day. I told her she can take the day off, but I love her. She's an open court. It's a great facility. Yeah. It's not right in Houston, but they just do things right, man. They get it. They got that NBA scoreboard, and she's always good to me. So it's where you helped and you came out in the fall, Mr. Hicks. It's Open Court Sports Complex in Katy. Mm-hmm. It's going to be 12 to 4, so you can still see mama for dinner. I try to be strategic with it. Mm-hmm. And I try to also kind of, just in case some of these guys are playing on an unsigned senior team at like Who Wants to Smoke or whatever. I mean, if you're not 17 under, just come to the camp.
Yeah, stay at home.
Please don't be the 2 seniors playing on an unsigned senior team and up in there. That's for 17 under. So that's just my little beef. If you got, and if a guy wants to keep you there to win a bracket, that ain't right. I mean, go. It's time to go to 17 and under. I mean, that really worked back in the old days. People don't understand that's bad. I mean, that really worked and helped the kids. So I'm talking about the unsigned senior guys that mix in on some of those teams and go out to those deals. I'm stay at home. Come to open court. It's going to be 12 to 4 at uncommonbasketball.com. A big old yellow tab says click toward camp, register near you, and just go down to Houston and register. Okay. I'm going to be making invites today because there's kids that I liked, and that's what I usually do. If I like them, I want to see them a second time. And Eric was going to come because I told the parents that. Now that I really liked him and he was written on the sheets of all those coaches and the Dallas staff, now I want to see what he can really do. But he's got something he's got to do that's family oriented, but they've been very good. And I could tell they're very proactive and get it. And so I think he'll be fine. I said, no worries. I've seen him. And so I'm going to be extending invites today to Houston kids. And, man, Mr. Hicks, if you've got some kids you know that would benefit, and please, man, maybe shoot them a text or email that's ranked in your deal that need this opportunity because, I mean, it's open. I mean, I'm just trying to get as many unsigned guys in there and try to find a few prep guys and JC guys.
Well, there you have it. Of course, Coach V, we want to thank you for joining us on the Chop Shop and sharing that intel with us. And a lot of you that are watching, if you know someone as well, then you reach out to Coach V and to nominate and recommend an unsigned senior. The investment in something of this stature is well worth it at this point, because obviously those of you who find yourselves as in an unsigned senior status right now, this means that the plan probably didn't go as you expected it to as far as recruitment. So guess what? This is how you can give one last effort. Think about it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pay something in all likelihood to go to college. But this opportunity can yield you is an opportunity to get some updated footage, to get an evaluation, and you never know who may be there. And I think Archie Young will be there filming. And
and I want to say this, Mr. Hicks, real quick before I know we're getting to the end. But everybody makes fun of me in this industry because they know how many people I know. They call me the hardest working broke man in America. I think the good Lord, my Papa Pollock, and it's genetic. Why would I be doing this if I ain't really trying to help? I know a lot of people say that, but just trying to be a part of the game and really help. I mean, this has been a vision since I left college coaching of what I'm really doing. And I know you said that you don't. You're right. You don't know that not who's going to be there, but I've set these last two camps up with last year's knowledge. I got a top prospect package now. So if you're one of the top 9, I'm going to create, like I did for Holcomb and Josh Pierre and some of them kids out in McKinney. I'm going to pull your academics. I'm going to get you a transcript uploaded. I'm going to upload 2 game films. I'm going to get everything a college coach needs, because the other thing I know, if there's 4 dudes, even if it comes from me, so I'm not trying, but if there's 4 guys that are all alike, when I was coaching D1, D2, or anything, even back in it, and I had all of his stuff in front of me, or it took me 5 weeks to track down his stuff at Westbury Christian, I'm probably offering him. So the other thing I'm doing is I'm closing the gap for coaches right on site after the event, offering it to the top players. It stays credible, but I can get all your information. You ain't on a database, and put it together, because I know the next 5 weeks, Wild West, you have a pick and pop 4 coach. Yeah, there was a kid at Houston. Just text a link. It's got film, transcript, a phone number. It's got his stuff. They ain't got to go look for it. What? Because coaches can get bored. If it took me 5 days to find a kid and you ain't number 1, that could be the difference. All those little things I do, I want results. So that's the other thing I've done with these camps, to keep the top players in my system, because it's going to be a process now that the portal's closed.
My man.
We're going to get some guys there. Thank you. Ain't nobody clapped for me since 1999.
Thanks a bunch for joining us, man. We have to get on down. We have to slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this Women Rock Wednesday. Shout out to all the ladies out there who stayed with us all the way to the end. Yeah. I see Angela Holcomb, Marissa Smith, B. Scott, and among others.
Anissaville.
Miss Anissa up in the house as well. And shout out to all you ladies. Happy I guess premature Mother's Day week.
That's
we can
right.
call this going into. And as we go into the end of the week, we'll come back tomorrow on the Chop Shop. Got another special guest going to join us. We're going to talk and recap the Houston Area Basketball Coaches Association All-Star Games, which will take place this evening, 6 o'clock and 7:30 at Stafford High School.
Hey, Mr. Hicks, do a little work for me. If they're on Sunday, man, please tell them about my camp Sunday. Please. If they're unsigned, tell them about my camp.
Oh, they unsigned. They're watching.
That's what I'm saying, man. If you got the All-Star game and there's some kids, man, I'm please say, hey, you should. There's spots on Sunday. Just hit Coach V up, man. I'm being serious, man. We're get these kids in there and figure out in 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, and just just try to help them. They're unsigned, because if they're in the All-Star game in Houston, again, it's so tough on seniors right now. They can play.
But
Houston's a great market.
Let's be real. A lot of these kids can give a damn about playing in college. Their parents at this point, they just want their kids to be happy and not put up a tantrum at home. At this point, a lot of these kids, their parents, they have money already. Brady Smith is 6'10" in Houston right now. He started on the circuit last year. He quit high school basketball this year. He lives out that way, going not far from where the camp be at. His parents, they have what they call
Brady. He was at like Side Fair or something.
They got this. Their parents don't give a shit about him playing college basketball right now.
Them three.
He's gonna be playing an All-Star game. No, is he? No, he's not in the All-Star game tonight. No, he's not in the All-Star game.
Well, I know he ain't in the All-Star game, but he don't want to play no basketball.
But people want him to play. They have offers on the table at some sub-Division I schools.
He's 6'10", Jimmy. But you saying a lot of parents. But we'll talk about this tomorrow.
A lot of people at this point understand economically advantaged families. That's what I'm talking about. I say a lot of them. There are a lot out there.
Okay.
Remember, because at this point, you have to be putting in your registration.
He's talking about you, Mr. Hatter. All them nice cards.
Hey, man, let's get out of here, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Coach. We're gonna see Coach. But Coach, you're right, man. If y'all at the event tonight, please pass the coach.
Please. If 3 kids learn about it that don't know and still hungry and they don't. I mean, it's still the best platform at this late date to really get a real look. I'm probably going to cap it at 35. I mean, I just want to run it. I'm just being more inventive. I'll run my regular stuff in the summer. So, but I'll let you go, man. I appreciate it, Mr. Hicks. It was great working with you on the senior showcase. And man, I'm going to be in Houston a lot, man. It's always a numbers game down there. A lot of talent and man, anything I can do to help. Coming down there, looking forward to my weekend in Houston.
All right. Thanks a bunch, Coach V. Be good. And don't forget, guys, make sure you go over to uncomingbasketball.com. We'll see you guys on tomorrow. For Robert Hatter, Jim Hicks, we up out of here. Hey, peace. Chop shop.
Peace it out. Take care.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter, you are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro, let's get it. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop